Hey everyone, let's talk about grenades. Most people are pretty good with grenades in Halo already, but I still see a lot of people in social games just super misusing grenades and not really understanding what you can do with them. So I wanted to go through really quick and sort of get some basic concepts on what grenades are good for and what they're not good for out there so that if you're new to Halo or first-person shooters or anything in general, you can start thinking about how to use grenades in your gameplay more effectively instead of just saying "I have a grenade" and throwing the grenade. So real quick, what are they? They are delayed area damage, which means that you spend time in game to throw the grenade and then wait for them to go off, and then when they do go off, it's a large area damage. So it's not consistent damage output like an assault rifle or something like that. You spend time, you can't do anything while you're throwing the grenade, and then eventually it goes off and does damage. This is relevant later as far as what you can do with it. Um, the fact that you throw them in arcs and they bounce means that you can put damage in places you can't actually shoot, which is really important. And then they're front-loaded damage. So if you can spend time when you can't shoot somebody to throw the grenade instead, when the grenade does do damage, it just all comes out in one burst, right? This isn't like frags do what? About 4 BR shots worth of damage, roughly. If they get hit by it, it's 4 shots, right? So if you can spend time when you can't shoot somebody to throw a grenade, the grenade goes off, it just does a shitload of damage all at once. And what aren't they? They're not panic buttons, right? So if you're don't know what to do and you're losing a fight, don't just throw a grenade because you have a grenade and grenades do damage. There are much better uses for grenades than that. Then they're not usually the best use of time in relation to damage output. This doesn't mean strictly sit down and do the math. If it takes this many milliseconds to throw a grenade, it does this integer amount of damage and compare that to other weapons. Like, that's not what this is saying. Um, what this is saying is that the amount of damage you actually get out of grenades, depending on whether you hit them, how much of the radius they're in, whether or not someone dodges it, like, there are a lot of things that actually block grenades from doing damage at all. So normally, if you can do something else instead of throwing a grenade at somebody, you should be. Mostly because if you're shooting them and you don't miss your shots, you guarantee damage on them, which means that they're weakening for the next person to come out. If you throw a grenade, you rely on the other person actually standing in the grenade radius. And normally, if someone sees you throw a grenade, they're not going to sit there and stand on the grenade, right? Um, so this isn't a mathematical absolute truth where there are worse things to do with your time than throwing a grenade as far as how much damage goes out if the grenade hits. But a lot of the time, there are better things to do than throwing a grenade, and it's usually just shooting them or punching them. Um, so I have the pit loaded up real quick because while talking about it is useful, I think it's much better to actually show you guys what I mean with some of these situations. Um, so most people, I see a grenade, they'll like see somebody out here, they'll just throw a grenade at them, right? This doesn't do a whole lot. Something better, if you know someone's coming down Rocket Hall, if you're here, right, so if you're walking up this, and you know someone's doing this on their side as well, so you have to walk up this whole ramp to get the rockets. Since you can't shoot them now, you can instead throw a grenade off of here, so when they get there, the grenade goes off and does damage and you can kill them, right? Like, you can see how there's a significant amount of time between walking through here before getting to here, where you can shoot somebody that's doing the same stuff, and in these steps, instead of shooting your BR and doing nothing, you can throw a grenade, which takes time, and by the time it blows up, it does damage to them. So that's the general idea with that stuff. You want to be throwing grenades when you don't have something better to do. As far as front-loaded damage is concerned, it's really nice. Like, say you're weak in shotgun for whatever reason. This goes for almost any place where you're trying to hide from somebody and somebody's pushing you. If they're going to push you through here, you don't want to take straight BR fights. You can just bounce a grenade off the floor. If they come through the corner, they're hurt. Right? I mean, you can do this too, but it takes longer and they'll see it. If you throw it off the floor. Right? So stuff like that where, again, they're pushing you, you need to find something to do with your time, and you can spend time to front load damage in the door they're going to push you through, and you just do this. Something I didn't cover very often, or I didn't really go over in the video, is covering options, right? So say someone's in shotgun and you want to push them, same situation, but they're out of grenades for whatever reason. There's two ways to leave, right? They can leave through this door, they can leave through this door. You can use grenades to cover one of the exits, right? So if you want to push this way, I guess this way's probably faster. You can throw a grenade here and go this way to push them. If they try to leave, they get hit by the grenade over there. This is probably more evident when you're doing stuff like in pit. So if you take a fight here where you're going to pull flags, you're MLG and you're playing pit flag, you get in a fight who's going towards those cuts, and he runs over towards cuts over here. It's very common for someone here to take a fight, do this stuff and leave, and then they see you going this way. So instead of going here and taking a fight you're losing, you can take the fight back, and then come back through here. But if you're the one up top on plat taking that fight, you can get your shots, right? And you can throw a grenade off of here. You can see where the grenade blows up. It's in this area, right? So we throw this, and then go over here. If someone were to double back, you cover that option with a grenade. So the only way for them to survive after being hit with this is they can't go back. They have to come here, and you're already here. And you already have advantage in the fight. Same idea with S1. If you have shots here, you can bank a grenade off of this. You can see where it blows up, right? Blows up in here. We throw this. That's about it. Throw it off of this thing. You can take this fight, throw a grenade off of this, then come back here. If they were to go back through here, they die to the frag, otherwise they're just out of your BR. I think that covers most of the stuff I want to talk about as far as like generic use of grenades. Like you want to grenade stuff, you want to use it to cover options. I like bouncing stuff off floors when you're pushing somewhere because it gets grenade damage out front as quickly as possible. Like if you're pushing through green, you know someone's pushing you through long, right? Get some BR armor real quick. I guess this works too, right? So if you know someone's coming through green to your side green, it's out here. You can throw a grenade in front of you. So it blows up as I turn the corner. Then one thing that I don't know if it's going to be an infinite or not, but it's in a lot of Halos is insta exploding plazis, usually just called instas. This shows up a lot on midship just because you start with 2 plazis, but one thing you do in here, this actually came up in, I don't know if you guys watched the TV2 MLG finals, like it was like a month ago or so. Rydiab actually instead did a plazi off a frag. Anyway, someone was hiding in this corner, right? And MLG, this isn't camo, these are rockets. So if someone has rockets in there, you can't really push them without dying. But something you can do is throw an insta, where you throw that, you throw this, and it blows their grenade up immediately. They don't have a chance to hide from it. And because plazis do more than frags, they will actually one-shot kill if it's close enough. Instead of throwing this here, and having someone see that and have a chance to dodge it, you can bank it off the wall. And banking it off the wall gives more time, because if you throw something on the ground, that's when the timer starts. You see how fast this blows up, right? Versus doing something like this. Since that takes longer, it gives you time to throw another grenade. If the grenade is within the explosion radius of another grenade, it goes a small distance and then blows up quickly. So you can do it, bounce off the wall to give you more time, then throw the next one. They both blow up, and it explodes in here and kills them. Use it a lot on P2, on Midship or Heretic. But if you learn to do that, it's really useful. So instas are good, and then just finding like weird unorthodox ways to throw grenades is really useful too. A lot of it's off the floor. Most people don't do that. Because if you're going somewhere, right, this goes back to the front-loading damage and spending time throwing grenades when you can't shoot somebody. So like if you know someone's weak on here and like you get called out pushing them, you want to have your BR out, but you can also do this. So if they were to like come challenge you early, your damage is already there. Do that as well on the ST ramp. It's like if someone's lifting you, you don't just want to sit here with your BR out, you can throw a grenade when they're lifting. So I think that's mostly it, because I see a lot of people who like get in BR fights, start losing, and then just like throw a grenade at their opponent, which like, that doesn't do anything, right? Like if you lose in this fight, and someone's here, and you throw a grenade, they're just going to walk over here and keep shooting you. Or like they'll go behind that, and then re-peek. So don't just throw grenades to throw grenades. You want to like actively cover places on the map with your grenades. I think this S2 thing is probably the best example of it, right? Like if you're here and you're fighting somebody who's here, you take this fight and then go towards that way, you can throw a grenade to cover the option and then go over there. Yeah, I think we'll leave it there. Thanks again, everybody watching. I'm getting some more subscribers, which is really cool. I appreciate all you guys. If you have any questions, let me know. If you have any ideas for stuff that you want covered, also let me know. I'm kind of running low on like general concept ideas. I'll probably revisit most of them when Infinite comes out and I'm actually better at making videos. But for now, I hope anyone who finds this finds it useful. Thanks again. Bye.